going on, everybody? Thinking game somewhere in the 200s, close to 300, somewhere.
Somewhere,
Just,
man.
somewhere. Um, thank everybody who been watching the sports, liking the clips. Thanks to the brothers who came on, man, showed us much love. Ty Forte, Kim Adams Jr., The Vault, The Vault, my McClellan bro, Rod King, and Ty Knight, man. 100%, man. Appreciate all the love.
Mhm.
But today we finna get into the thinking part of it. We get the sports. Now we finna talk about life. Trying to find your identity growing up. You hear the story time and time again. We finna react to some videos. We're not doing it from a place of judgment. We're really talking from experience. And everybody grows up different. They grow up different, grows up. That's funny. Grow up different.
Yeah.
Um, some people have different perspectives. Some people go through different phases. What we're trying to do is say sometimes if you just slow down and think through it, sometimes you can avoid some of it. But if you let things build up and happen so fast, you get out of control, you can't control the outcome. You just hope you can survive it without doing jail time or unfortunately you don't want to lose your life.
Mhm.
What just happened? Is it this camera?
Ooh.
That's me,
Mhm.
man. That's my fault. Give me one second to come back up.
Hey,
It's all good. Let me
trying to be me, man.
try to be you. It's try to be you. That's
No.
funny. Well, I don't know what's going on with this thing. Hold on, let me see. Give me 1 second, guys.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, come on, man. All right, I think we're good now. Let me see. Hey, there we go. All right,
There we
cool.
go.
Fixing it live, guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's good to work in tech. You can figure it out real quick. All right. So with that being said, now let's look at this video. This guy went from in LA, he went from a D1 school,
D1 offers.
D1 offers. Oh, to you don't ever want to hear these words. Life without life without. You do never want to hear something like that, man. That sucks. Um, let's check it out real quick. And we gonna probably be paused it a couple times to really kind of let's talking about it and stuff. But
Yeah.
go ahead and run it real quick.
I played football out there. I was actually an athlete. I got invited to Stanford, USC, ASU, Nike tours and stuff playing. I went to a party and one of the people I was with ended up, shooting and someone got killed. Everything just hit me like a ton of bricks right then and there. Like I realized like the lie that I was
Why do you feel emotional about that?
Shout out to Between the Lines too. They interview people in jail to kind of give them a chance to talk about their story and how they go through things in life and how they where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to talk through it, man, so you can really think about and there's no judgment. You got to be able to do these things as an adult. And sometimes you got to do it with yourself. Sometimes you might not have
Mm-hmm.
nobody to interview you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
What's up, Aaron? Thank you for being in Between the Lines podcast with us. I just want to get to know you and ask you about who were you before this whole experience?
okay. Well, before this whole experience, I came to jail when I was 18. I was still in high school and I played football out there. I was actually an athlete and I played football And I was actually really good at it, like really good. Like I was getting a lot of college look-ats. I was going to visit a lot of colleges and stuff. Like right before I got locked up, before that season started, I got invited to Stanford, USC, ASU, and I was just going on my college camps, the Nike tours and stuff playing. So I had several scholarships and colleges looking at me that I could have went to, but you know, just the struggles of being a teenager, I guess, kind of got in my way more because I went to one of those schools where like football is God there, like literally.
Where
like,
you from?
I'm from LA, but I went to school in Norco High School.
So the struggles of being a teenager, man.
Mm.
Boy, that's a lot, boy. That's a
He's
mouthful
saying a
right
lot.
there. Huh?
He said a lot without saying a lot.
Yeah, man. And that's one of the things, like, why we say the thinking game. Like, life is a game of thinking. It's a lot of thinking. Whether you believe it or not, some struggles, if you really slow down and say, if you can admit to yourself, I'm struggling here, how do I get out of this? Or somebody that can help you that's trustworthy, like, hey, man, I'm struggling with this. I'm saying this so you don't have. Sometimes you can go through these things because you don't reach out or you don't really think through, like, how do I get out of the struggle that I'm struggling with? You know what I'm saying? But what you think about that, man? Struggles as a teenager, man? Because, like I said, I think every teenager, whether you in the projects or in the suburbs, I think every teenager probably kind of struggled through it.
Yeah,
Some kind of struggle.
Yeah, going from a child to a teenager, you know, hitting that puberty level, and you know, your mind get to racing. I definitely understand because everybody. If you was a teenager once, you didn't went through it.
Yeah,
At least.
Jay, what's going on, baby?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey.
Just reacting to this video. We'll watch a little bit of it, then we're gonna go to another.
So at that school right there, it was like football was everything. Like if you're good on that team, you play varsity, you contribute, they let you get away with everything. Not like that in a bad way, but you know, they just treat you,
You're like the big dog on campus.
Yeah, exactly. Like they do you like that. And I wasn't doing everything I was supposed to in the classroom like I was on the field. So as my senior year came playing and stuff like that, and you know, I had all these expectations to go to college and stuff like that. A lot of my teammates, my peers, my friends was going to school and stuff like that, getting scholarships. I was kind of faking it, I guess you could say, because I was doing everything on the field, but my classroom wasn't caught up. So by the time that happened, I remember our last game of the year, our semifinal game. When that game ended, we were expected to go to the championship. And when that game ended, like, everything just hit me like a ton of bricks right then and there. Like, I realized, like, the lie that I was
Why do you feel emotional about that?
It happened, hit you, man. Like, when you actually can recall, like, go back and just like think about some of the stuff you did, it will hit you like that. I mean, like he said, like he's saying so many ways he didn't take care of his academics like he should, and it caught up with him. You know, when you get those letters when they look at your grade point average, like, oh man, you know, you good on the field, but man, we need you to be good off the field too. You know what I'm saying? And I think one thing he said that people know, but they don't say nothing out loud a lot is when you're really good, you do get second and third chances when you're good. You got to be really good though. You know what I'm saying? If you like the fifth man on the team and you mess up, you don't even get one chance. You cut. You know what I'm saying? When you get to the college level, man, you do something too crazy, man. Like, ask Cam Newton, man. Like, they will let you go, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, easy. You know what I'm saying? Because of the PR. People don't realize that, like, PR. That's an important thing. It's part of the business. You don't want bad PR because it takes away money out your pocket. You know what I'm saying? But what y'all think, man, before we go forward about what he was saying?
I think that was a good point you made about thinking back about stuff. He can remember his frame of mind from that point of view. from the
Right.
childlike point of view. Like I had nothing to worry about. I'm going. I could have did better at school, but I still have my life ahead of me.
Mhm.
And you don't know how many opportunities you get until you get older. And looking back, you see, like, man, I had the world at my feet. It was my choice. But you
Mhm.
don't see that when you're younger. And he's recognizing that in himself.
Man.
Yeah, simple for real. It's just that simple.
Yeah. Let's
But
keep going.
like,
Go ahead, Bill. What you about to say?
no, go ahead.
Because it's finna get real. We finna talk about it for real.
Yeah, because
Nah,
I
it's
didn't
just
go ahead.
that gets me every time I think about it, just because like my life that I was living, like everybody being so proud of me, and I just wasn't like I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. So I realized like at that moment, like my lies, I couldn't lie no more. Like I couldn't. It was football season's over. Am I gonna get these scholarships? Am I gonna be signing to college like my friends and stuff? And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. So I dropped out of school. Like I just left it all alone. And
What do you mean the lies you were telling yourself?
like
What does that mean?
like
And why
every
does it make you so like emotional?
just because like so many people like sacrificed a lot for me to play football, for me to live out there, for me to go to that school. And they really like was proud of me. And I like them being proud of me, that's really where it hurt at, because later on I realized that my identity was built on like the praise that I got for what I did. So instead of me being arrogant,
Right there. The lies he was telling. I can relate to that because, man, when you grow up in a single parent household and you only dealing with your mom or you only dealing with your dad, they can only be with you so much, just realistically, right? My mom would say, "Hey, man, you do your homework?" Yeah, I did my homework, knowing I didn't do my homework. You know what I'm saying? Knowing I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? My senior year of high school, man, I played around so much, man, because I only needed one class to pass.
Mhm.
So I probably only passed that one. Literally, I probably only passed that one class. You know what I'm saying? And it really ain't funny, but I made it seem like everything was cool because I graduated and everything. But when my report card came home, man, it was terrible, man. You know what I'm saying? It was terrible. So I get what he's saying. Like, he was parading around a lot. You know what I'm saying? What do y'all think about the identity part? He said he was built around his identity was built around the praise of sports. Do you think a lot of athletes go through this? Young athletes,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You
you know?
know, you don't feel as important if you're not playing. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like say some people that's their livelihood. Like that's all they know. They you don't think about like, dang, I really don't got the grades. Like I remember when we was in school, like we were proud to be in the dumb jobs class, and then you think about it, like, damn, I'm smarter than this, but I'm sitting here in the dumb jobs class, man.
Man, for real.
If y'all don't know what that is, that's when you have after school you have to spend an hour, maybe two, in a classroom to bring your GPA up.
And you're supposed to be doing homework.
Right.
Boy.
Supposed to be. And
So go ahead,
and
Joe.
you made a good point. You feel like all you have is sports and you do what's praised, right? And people do this all the time in their
They do.
relationships, and especially men. Like if your wife or significant other praises you for being a provider, you double down on providing. Your motivation behind taking care of your family is the praise or the respect you get for doing what you're supposed to do. You do what's ever being praised, and like you said, Mike had one class to graduate. He took care of that, and then his parents was doing his mom was doing her job and asking him and being checking on him to make sure he was doing his work, and he was supposed to be a man and say yes or no. She did her job, But all I had to do is tell this little lie, and I can get off and still get the praise. I get off the hook and get praise for doing my work. But then the report card is going to always come out.
Yep. And then, so he played sports and got praise. This is another perspective that I want to really drive home, right? Kids that don't play sports, right? The middle area kids. You're not in the streets. You don't play sports. You're in the middle. You live in a single parent home, or you live in the projects, or you live in the inner city or whatever, and your parents are always at work. So as long as you stay out of trouble, don't get a bad report card, you're good, but you don't get a lot of praise because the sentiment is that's what you're supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? I grew up in a family like that. Like, would you do it with or without praise? Like, some people not taught like that. I was taught like that. Like, would you be a man if somebody was looking or not looking? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I shouldn't have to hold your hand and, or do you want a cookie for that? They say, you want a cookie for that or something like that? You want a pat on the back? But I think sometimes those middle area kids get lost because sometimes the praise lets you know, like, if you're going in the right direction, if it's used properly, or if you only get, the only praise you get is the mistakes and not the good stuff that you do. You know what I'm saying? You only get the emphasis when you mess up or when you get a behavior document or you get in trouble and things like that. But if you're doing good, it's almost like no noise is good noise, but you have to be conditioned to understand that no noise is good noise. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can handle that kind of mindset. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
But also, like, the kids that didn't play sports, or you still have to find your identity.
Right, but I'm saying some of them, not all of them find it. Some of them struggle because they don't have that support system to really kind of guide them into that path. We're gonna talk about that here in a little bit, but I just kind of wanted to note that they're the kids that's in the middle, they could get, a lot of them get lost, you know what I'm saying, in the shuffle. You know what I'm saying? Easy. That's why I say a lot of them, he gonna talk about that in the games because he wanted the praise, you know what I'm saying? Let me keep playing.
And being proud of being Aaron, I was the football player. Like, that was my identity, the football player, the one to make everybody proud, the one that was doing good, that was supposed to go somewhere and do something with my life. And all that praise that I was getting, that's where my confidence came from. Like, that's where my self-worth came from. So when that ended, and like I like to say, my lies ended, I didn't know who I was no more. Like, it's crazy. But I didn't have that same identity, that self-worth.
Right.
So that's when I dropped out of school, like, I was just hanging out, just teenager, moved out my house, just, outside, my friends and stuff, they live in certain lifestyles, doing certain things. And I just noticed that certain things that they was doing, they was getting a lot of praise in the streets for it. Like, a lot of people was giving them that same energy. And to me, that kind of felt like the same energy that I used to get on the field, even though some of it was negative. So I started like hanging out more and doing things that I shouldn't do. And that was fulfilling me. It was giving me another image.
So what y'all think about that? Do you think that happened to a lot of dudes in the inner city?
Sure.
I think there's two zones. Sometimes this is zone you can go down, because I went down. I didn't do the gang stuff, but if you go down the zone that I don't give a F or I don't care, I think you will get here. But it's so dangerous because you'll do a lot of things that normally you would do, you won't do. You know what I'm saying? And I think, he went down his zone when he moved out the house. He didn't want to be accountable no more. Because sometimes, like I say, you run from that accountability. You know what I'm saying? Of your parents telling you, why did you quit? Why did you not do your grade? You don't want to hear that at that time. You don't want to face that accountability. You know what I'm saying?
And you think you're running from responsibility, but you're running into a lot more
A
responsibility.
whole nother level of responsibility. Yup,
Being a student
100%.
or a student athlete is easy compared to being a grown man providing everything. If you get the internet, you provide it for yourself. If you get games, you bought it for yourself. All that stuff you took for granted costs. Now you're on
Mhm.
your own.
Mm-hmm.
And playing on the football field is way different than playing on the streets. It's a whole
Yes,
nother
sir.
level. It's a thinking that you really got to start thinking about what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Watch a little bit more of this, then we'll go to some other stuff.
I guess you could say something that I could feel comfortable with. And I kind of got lost in that. And I came to jail. I don't know if I talk about my crime or anything.
No, you haven't.
So I had a lot of friends out there that was rapping. It was a big like thing going on in LA at the time, in Southern California, like a bunch of rapping and stuff like that. And you know, just the stuff we was doing, the lifestyle that we was living, you know, basically we homeless. Like we don't really think of it like that because we just all teenagers living at each other's house. Sometimes I had to sleep in my car. Like we just thought it was cool, we hanging out, but in reality, we really was homeless. Like we didn't have no jobs, we didn't have no money, no
Where
income.
were your parents at during this time?
They were still at home, and you know, they was upset. Like a lot of people was trying to get in contact with me to see what's up with me going to college, with me going to school, and I just like lost contact with people. I had like I kind of got into it with my dad. He was disappointed with my behavior, with me not doing what I was supposed to do, and I just kind of like I just stayed away from my family, partly because you know I moved out and the things we got into, and partly because of just shame. Like I just
See, that's the thing, shame, right? The thing that's tough, man, like as much as his dad loved him, and I'm sure his dad did, what could his dad have done anything? Once he said, I'm out, I don't want to be around y'all, I'm dipping because I don't want to face that. Is there any, is like, I think as a parent, what's the demarcation point? He's like, you know what I'm saying? Because he said he pretty much jetted the contact. He didn't want them to know where he was, you know what I'm saying?
As a person that did the same thing,
Yeah.
yeah, they could have did something different, but you know,
What you think they could have did? I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying
I don't know their situation, but
right.
it's a lot of stuff that as a father that you can do,
Uh-huh.
but at some point, you know, you still have to wash your hands with kids. There's you know the ones that just being totally disrespectful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But-
Like, yeah, I'm trying to
but-
get people to understand it. Like, there is a point. Like, I can only do so much, but I can't make you line up. You know, so I can't make you act right. You know,
But
I can't.
as a father, you know, you just can't give up on your kids, no matter how hard it get. Like for real, no
But
matter how hard
you're not giving up, but he's dodging you. That's what I'm saying. Like,
you do. I don't want to say like you do that. Like
because the thing that's crazy that I learned about dealing with adults, like they still have to go to work every day. They still have to. He still got to provide for the house. It's weird. It's just like the dynamics of life is just it get crazy so fast. You know? I'm saying, what you think, Jay? I don't want to be long winded on it.
No. This is a very interesting point. I don't think we talked about this before. He's dodging that. His dad's trying to dig it out. And then you say his dad could have did more. You gotta find somebody to make them do what's best for them. I gotta fight you to have you do what's best for you.
Yeah.
This how crazy it is. And when we think about it, I think about it a lot. I wish my dad would have told me this. If I would have knew then what I knew now, I was just not in the right place.
Yeah.
You know, and when I look back, people did give me good advice.
Yeah.
At that time, I just didn't take it. You know, I could have took one piece of advice and made $1 million if I would have took it. But back then, I didn't take it.
And then
his situation is really bad. What happened to him, and it's stereotypical what happened to him. Hanging out with his friend and somebody died, and you go from being a top prospect into another inmate.
Yeah.
You know, and this one we're trying to get kids and people, not only kids, adults, to stop making those decisions because they seem harmless Going
Yeah.
to a party seems harmless
Yeah.
Yeah,
until it's
you
not.
do. And another thing I want to say is just a lot of times people look at the crime stuff and be like, man, I feel bad. But what I will say is something that I dealt with is one thing that actually got me to change too, right? Is when you start becoming when you go into being an adult, you like 18, 19, you start talking to different women and start becoming fun to you. But you don't realize that when you come around family, and I know for me, I didn't bring women that wasn't my girlfriend and around my family, but I did that for years though, a long time. One thing I wanted to do was I wanted my grandmother to see her grandson, you know what I'm saying, have a family, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if I didn't do right, I almost would have missed that window because my grandma died, earlier than and I couldn't have planned it out. But if I didn't do right, I could have missed that whole window. You know what I'm saying? And some dudes, I know some dudes, they kind of struggle with it. Like, man, my big mama didn't get to see her grandkid, me having grandkids. You know what I'm saying? Or being married and stuff like that. That's another side. Like, time will go by so fast that you gave up, or you. Why am I trying to say this? You spent your time doing that, but your family didn't get to see what you could have, the best parts of you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you come around your family house on Thanksgiving and Christmas for 5, 6 years straight, no girl, they may not say nothing to you, but they're gonna be like, "Wow, he's not selling down or nothing." And I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But that's another angle. You know what I'm saying? Selling dope. How many? I know a lot of dudes that sold dope, and they deal with the guilt of they didn't get caught selling dope, but they deal with the guilt of, man, I poison the community. Some
Mm-hmm.
dudes know they hold on strong to that really messes with them. You know what I'm saying? So don't just look at this and just think it is once. It is many of scenarios. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like
Uh,
I can understand the more like when he say it hit you like a ton of bricks, and it hit
oh,
you
for sure, 100.
like
percent Yeah,
it hit me at like 16. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? It hit me pretty early. But and I spent like 7, 8 years. I ain't go around nobody. Not
I feel you.
and it wasn't that people was reaching out trying to find me. And the only person I talked to was the person that really wasn't in my life.
Yeah,
And he was telling me, "Hey man, go ahead. It's okay. You can forgive your mama."
yeah.
But I wasn't listening. I wasn't
I
listening.
want to listen.
I wasn't listening to none of that. Well, let me come stay at grandma's house or something.
Yeah.
But,
All right, let's do some more. Then we're gonna go to
I
another.
didn't really want to be around everybody like that. So
If you could go back and talk to you in that younger version of you, what would you say
man,
at that time?
at that time I would have told myself first and foremost that I'm not defined necessarily by what I do as far as who I am as a person. Like, I'm smart, intelligent, I'm friendly, like I know how to communicate, I know how to talk to people, I know how to get along with people. Like, I have a lot of stuff to provide that makes me a good person, that makes me whole. I didn't need football to make me somebody. I didn't need to hang out in the streets to make me somebody. I didn't need to seek all these things to be someone. I already am someone. You feel me? I'm good enough. And I would just tell myself that, man, like, love yourself, be patient, and work hard. Like, because it seemed like everything that I was doing, whether it was like the streets, the rapping, the football, I worked hard at that. Like, I put my everything in it. But
And that's another thing too. A lot of times, whatever you pick, if you pick a vice, you don't realize how much work you put into the advice or whatever you pick. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always tell myself I had the will and the skill, but I was pointing it in the wrong direction, and I had to point it to the right direction. Whether it's the women, it's the drugs, it's the streets, it take a lot of work to do either one of those. You know what I'm saying? Whether people want to believe that or not, but
Mhm.
and sometimes you don't realize that after you get out of it, like, man, I use a lot of my brain resources for that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But yeah. And we're gonna go to another one, but pretty much, man, he got caught up at a party. He didn't say it, but it sound like it sounded like he got caught up in it. He didn't want to snitch,
Yeah.
and because he was a part of it, he got it too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He now hoping. I hope he get free. He can get time served. He said he going through an appeal because they changed the law,
Yeah.
and because he didn't pull the trigger, maybe they just get him with the robbery instead of like getting him with the with the murder that happened during it. You know what I'm saying? So man, I hope that brother get some resolution and clarity.
Like,
Very unfortunate, man. You know what I'm saying? But it happens, man. You gotta be careful out there, man.
I'm pretty sure he's still a little young. And looking at it like some people you can tell they can be rehabilitated or they already like, damn,
Yeah,
I made some mistakes. Like,
yeah.
just listening to them, you could tell they ain't just no jail talk.
Oh, God, I do that.
Cause I know I done been around a lot of people with that jail talk.
What's that?
Their jail talk, they talk a good game, but you could tell like, nah, he gonna get out and do the same thing again.
All right, now here's another one. This is Michael Beasley. Let's see what he got going.
Dad. I think his dad is living in a past. I think his dad is reliving his childhood, right? Because if you look at Giannis's dad, RIP, he came to the arena. He was proud of his son. He didn't want no interviews. He didn't want you to understand. He didn't tell you anything he'd been through or showcased it because it was Giannis's time, right? And I love how Ja's dad loves his son. His dad is just a product of what we're speaking of. So his dad missed out on his childhood, and his son gave him enough money to time travel. I think Ja,
man, that was a bar, man. Good God.
Mm-hmm.
He said he missed out on his childhood, and his dad gave him enough money to time travel. Man, man, that's crazy.
But it's so true.
What I think about that, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's really spot on, but I can't speak on it too much. But I get it though. But when you put so much into your kids like that, of course you want to not reap the benefits, but yeah, you kind of want to do it. But that's what happens when you have kids like a little younger. Like his dad's not that much older than him. You know what I'm saying? And people, a lot of kids, they grow up, especially when they had their parents was young when they had them. Like they basically grew up together. Like,
but I think he was saying the responsibility is more on his dad, though. To have that kind of sense to be like, this is my son. I'm gonna support him, but I'm not gonna be in here, throwing up the hood and stuff. And I'm his dad. You know what I'm saying?
But he probably just sat Ja down and told him his job like.
But how can you tell your son that, and then you at the game, looking like,
you really can't.
It's hard. That's what I'm saying. You got to think about those things.
Yeah, and money and resources change the dynamic too. Not only from being close to age, like when you're the son and you're the provider, you have millions and millions of dollars.
Right.
So what can you? They kind of take some of your power as an adult or as a father when your son's providing for the entire family, not just the intermediate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
is the family entitled to him providing for the family? Are they entitled to that?
Not entitled, but you're not entitled to nothing. But being a person, if you got a lot of money like that, the immediate family that's really just been around like that, yeah, you gonna only feel right, like I gotta take care of them.
What does take care of mean? Like, what do you think that means? Take care of.
Take care of them.
That's a vague statement, pretty much.
But he's saying it's very vague. what everybody needs is so different. You know, taking care of the needs of your people, the people under you, whatever the need may be.
I'm saying,
That's
do
why
you set the boundary on what
Like-
take care of mean?
Like
Or is this
everybody,
for the rest of your life?
like they
Bill,
hope. Yeah.
Bill needs medical care. You need financial help. My brother needs spiritual help. I'm gonna meet their needs. It's gotta be vague because I may end up playing different parts.
But I'm saying, like, if I say I need financial help and I don't give you like a plan, like I need financial help, am I saying I want you to financially help me for the rest of my life?
No. Like,
I'm saying that's how it starts. I'm saying that's how when you talk to the NBA player, that's how it starts.
yeah, that's how it started. But
You know
I'm
what
talking
saying?
about
Yeah.
like they whole family stay on the same street, basically.
For sure.
Everybody. But
But
in Memphis,
once you put them on the same street, do they have a responsibility to go figure out how to make some coin too, so they can contribute back as well, so they can put it all in one pot?
some do like some do, like we don't know, like they was pretty not well off, but they.
I'm not talking about him particular. I'm just saying in general, like if
Yeah, in
somebody
general,
listens to
no,
this, like
because people
where's
gonna
the
use
demark
it.
point? What's
Yeah,
the demark point to be
So,
like, okay, you using me now? Now you just leeching.
Yeah.
now, every time, every family, every team needs different things. I bring the money, you bring something else.
But do that happen most of the time? Do they bring something?
Whatever
else?
that else is.
Right.
You may bring
I'm with you.
spirituality, he may bring this or that. You know, can't
'Cause the
everybody
highest-
bring chips to
The
the
highest
party.
end of the spectrum is LeBron homeboys, right? They all went to school, they all
They all
masters
got
something,
something. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
They
then the
all bring
lower end
something
of the
together.
spectrum is when you helping people and putting money out,
Yeah.
but it's nothing coming back, and then money's being drained. Matter
And-
of fact, let me play this. Let me do the reaction. Yeah. Let's talk about this. Hold on.
Yep.
It's gonna make perfect. Yeah, here you go right here. Let's see.
Say bad investments. Like, how did you run through 20? I never saw 20. And just thinking about it, like, my thing when I see dudes and I'm talking to them, I'm like, bro, if you got 10, then you got 8, then you got 6, then you got 4, then you got 800,000. Like, you can see that money leaving. Like, at one point, then you try to adjust. Like, something is going wrong with this financial plan.
That's a good question. And no excuse. No excuse. So I played 10 years. You said I made 20. We all know about Uncle Sam, right? So what's that? 10, right? So that's about $1 million a year.
Yeah.
That ain't no money. That's the real truth. The real truth is I ain't really make no money.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
What y'all think about that?
Boy, that boy crazy.
But he comparing himself to people that's like way above him. Like when he say that, though.
Hey,
What you think, Jay? What you think?
Yeah,
go ahead, Jacob.
it's easy to spend somebody else's money. Somebody
Yes.
can easily spend your money. Like you made
Yeah.
$20 million. That's this, and he has to break it down with you. Half of that went to Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
And you looking at me, you seeing $20 million, but it's really only $1 million a year. I have to live. Well, you can invest, you can do this, and you can do that. You can tell me all the mistakes I made after I make them. It's easy
Right.
to spend somebody else's money.
Yes.
Mhm. And it's like, I'm pretty sure he would probably stand in New York or New Jersey. So, the stuff is already high out there. And it's crazy.
And I think the going thing. In my opinion, I do like that he said no excuses.
Mhm.
But somebody that was his age, it was a lot of stories out there before him about basketball players telling you to be financially literate. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
How players go broke after they leave the league. Like it's enough data out there.
Mhm.
But when you feel like you're above the data or you're an exception to the rule, you end up being a part of the data. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Wait.
He wasn't a top tier player. He was, he was in New York. He was, but when you get to the NBA, it wasn't the same level of the stardom that he had when he was in the hood in New York or whatever, Coney Island or whatever,
Mhm.
on the island or whatever, wherever he was at. But keep listening, then we're gonna have to break it
I
down.
really ain't make no money. So people like, oh, I don't understand how you could go crazy from, I'm like, I ain't make Floyd Mayweather enough money. I didn't make the type of money where it's like, I'm gonna go crazy because I don't have it today. That's the real truth. If you do the math, that's $1 million a year. It's even hard. That's you got to be a real strategic dude making $1 million a year and thinking you're gonna end up, with everything on earth.
And you taking care of the family.
I got 14 brothers and sisters that I love with all my heart. I got a mother and a father. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot on us. But the real truth with the money part of it is we ain't make enough money for it to be sitting the way it's supposed to be sitting. Right? That's the real answer to that. But I invested in Philippe Childs. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing, when I first got to the league, I was on the path to do, the right things. You know what I'm saying? So I was on the right path. I just got knocked off the path of, sitting here with, $275 million cash right now.
I'm very protective.
So, what y'all think about that?
That boy crazy.
Yeah, he crazy. He 100%. He not keeping it real at all. You know what I'm saying?
I think he is.
No, I don't
he
think
told
is.
you 14 brothers and sisters when an apartment costs the mortgage of a condo is $1 million a year anyway in those places in New York.
So my thing is, why we just talked about this like 2 minutes ago, like understanding the data that's before you, right? Like understanding that, because I think Joe Budden, shout out to Joe Budden, man. He said the thing you never hear these dudes talk about is when the financial advisor tell you or your agent tell you that's probably not a good financial idea, and then you do it anyway. They don't never talk about that.
I mean,
they don't never talk about, like, they see the breakdown, but you still buy, like, you still want to go buy the jewelry. If you know you're not making Floyd Mayweather money, why go try to buy a Floyd Mayweather chain? You see what I'm saying? It don't make sense.
That
You know
makes
what I'm saying?
sense. What you're saying?
You know what I'm saying?
I look
You
at
know
it.
what?
Go ahead.
But
Go
you
ahead,
get
Phil.
family. You get 14 brothers and sisters. Each one of them get a house or a place to live in New York.
Why
And his
though?
mom and
Like,
dad.
and see, that's the thing, right? People, if somebody can look at your situation and say, or they don't have enough consideration to say he only making $1 million a year, why do we all of us need a house? That don't sound crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Now, yes, it does sound absolutely crazy because they're there to ask for money. It's your responsibility with your money
say
to
no.
say, I can't
To
do
say
this.
no. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's not keeping it real.
But
He didn't say I didn't have enough responsibility to say, no, we not doing it. We're gonna get one house, a compound or something, and we're gonna do that. But I'm not buying everybody their own house.
But and I looked at it like this: out of 14 of them, you tell me ain't now one of them got no type of understanding about nothing. That's
Well, we
bad.
just talked about that 5 minutes ago.
That's
That's what I was
bad.
just
That's
saying.
bad.
Where's the deep
Like,
park point at? You know
I would
what I'm
say
saying?
at least 3 of them probably should know something. At least 3. But you
Yeah.
know, but what like most NBA players, they expect it every year. I'm gonna get this every year.
But I'm saying, especially now in 2026,
Well, every week.
if it's so much data out there now about financial literacy. I mean, you can just have YouTube videos say and teach you about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's too much out there now to go down that road now. You know what I'm saying?
Even
If a kid, and if you do, you got to just take it. You got to be like, I messed up. You know what I'm saying?
like even
And that's the thing I think the dudes do. They try to say, well, I didn't have Floyd Mayweather money. Ain't a lot of people. Floyd Mayweather is the 1%. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that don't got Floyd
1%.
Mayweather money. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother level.
Hey, the smart thing he would have did was, you know what, I'm gonna take my whole family and get everybody. We're gonna move everybody down south. Man, you know what? You know how much land you could have got back then with $1 million?
100%. But see, the thing is, though, even if you buy the land, the taxes, the property taxes, the maintenance of it, you know what I'm saying?
It's pennies compared to what he blew.
It sounds good until the money go.
No, it's pennies. No,
No,
it's
I'm saying
pennies.
it sounds good till you're not making
He
the
bought
pennies.
a-
It sound good.
No, he bought a chain that's worth all the land Peter talking about.
Right. But I'm saying if you buy land and then you don't have the cash flow stop coming in and those taxes are due, you end up losing that lane right back, you know what I'm saying, to the state or
Yeah,
whatever. You know what I'm
but
saying? That's all I'm saying.
out of
But yeah,
14 people, somebody should have had some type of idea.
it sounds good. We just talked about that with John Moran. It sounds so good
Yeah.
until they don't. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing, he was rolling with the wrong dudes. You remember he got the gun charges, right?
No, that was all
Messed up,
his.
he got bad PR, messed up his
That was
endorsement
all
money.
him. That was all him. That was
Nah,
all
it
his.
was all him.
That was all.
Yeah, you
It
have
was
to
all
take
him.
some responsibility.
It was all him. Like
Going
for
around
real.
with automatic rifles or something. Allegedly going around with automatic
Yeah,
rifles in the
it was
car.
all him. Like
was all
for
him?
real. Yeah, because I think it was just him in the car.
Oh, it was just him. I thought it was other people with him. Wow,
Hmm.
it was just him. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, man, you just got to be smart, man. It's just, I guess you were young, but I think when you don't take that accountability, you try to scapegoat it. I think that's what the kids take that and be like, well, man, I ain't gonna do that either. You know what I'm saying? You don't really learn nothing from it because you're just trying to really escape it.
Then you got Stephon Marbury as your cousin. What you mean you ain't listening to nothing?
Man,
You
you couldn't go to China? You couldn't go to China with Starberry, man? You know what I'm saying?
You ain't listening to nothing. All right.
They don't want to do the
Starberry,
training.
I
They
heard
want
he
to
the man.
He
Yeah, I
is
heard he
the
the
man.
man in China, man. Then he sold them wax shoes when we was in high school. Them Starberries, man.
Man, hey, on the cool, he sold them.
Why
He
you
sold them.
talking
I
about
know.
shoes way? You trying to?
Man, them
You
shoes.
trying to
I heard them
get
shoes felt like mason bricks. I heard the bottom of them shoes felt like mason bricks, man.
There were quite a few people wearing them though.
I know.
Quite a few. Them men and da.
And them shacks.
Them Shaqs was a miracle. Thank God for him.
They didn't wear the
You got some
shacks.
shacks? You got some shacks?
Not then, but I thank God for them now. My
With some
son
85
got one
Wranglers?
right now.
You got some shacks with some 85 Wranglers, man? Nah.
Yeah, my son has some now. I sure would sport some Wranglers. Everybody can have Jabos back then.
Boy,
So.
for real.
I can't say nothing. We wore Silver Series, so hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
100%. Then when they get faded, they look stonewashed. So you can still wear them for another couple of years when you wash them too much.
I've never hated on Wrangler, Rustlers. What's the other one? Not Levi. What's the other ones? Not Levi,
Wrangler, Rustler.
the ones up under them. Hey, man, them ain't no Levi. Them some Lees. Yeah.
Lees.
Levi's little sister.
Yeah.
All right, one more video before we get up into the topics, and let me know what y'all think about this one. This one is about a guy talking about his experience in I did the same thing again. That was not smart. All right, there we go. All right, we ain't gonna watch the whole thing. I just want to watch some.
Bullying folk. He robbed drug dealers and he checked anybody. So one day I was having money around 15 and I stopped in the hood, which I shouldn't have stopped in the hood because everybody's standing around, same dude, waiting on somebody to get them something or feel like they owe them something. So when I pulled up, try to, let people know because I'm having a little money, I ain't changed. He say, "What you doing over here?" I said, "What you talking about, Jay?" Talking about spit in your face. The fuck? I said, "Why you disrespecting me in front of everybody, man?" He said, "Get on before I spit in your face." So I said, "Okay." I left. I said, "I'm gonna give you something to spit on." So I came back like a dumb, stupid young dude. I brought the pistol. I was just gonna pull it on him and thinking that he was gonna get scared.
So see, that happens all the time. All the time. You get in those situations, and like he said, I'm gonna pull it on him just thinking he was gonna get scared. You know what I'm saying? And it don't always happen like you think. You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand that one.
What you mean?
Pulling out just to scare her.
There's a lot of dudes that think like that. They don't say it out loud, but they be thinking that kind of stuff, man. That's how a lot of stuff happen in the streets, man. You know what I'm saying? We be having these crazy thoughts like, I'm just gonna pull it, man. You know what I'm saying? You hear what he said? I shouldn't even went back. I should have just left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he bucked the pistol. He made me use it. I shot him 6 times. Now, all those gangsters, that's why I laugh at guys that say they gangster. Everybody standing there running, hiding like little girls. And when I start shooting, nobody would, people hollering and everything.
That's another thing. A lot of dudes be saying that they hard.
Yeah.
Ain't never heard a gun go off. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Never saw somebody get shot. And then they see it in real life and they be traumatized. You know what I'm saying?
That ain't no
And then there's
cool.
some dudes who see it, they go to a whole nother level. Their whole mindset change. You know what I'm saying? But majority of dudes do what he be saying though. They be when their shots go off, they gone. You know, they scattering. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's man, he made a bad decision. First of all,
He said he made a bad decision. Yeah, for sure.
Two bad decisions. He doubled back.
He finna say it though. Watch this.
But I never shot nobody before like that. So
Like that, but you have shot somebody before.
bullet just went through him.
Yeah, they edited it.
Then he went straight
I
down.
never forget how he looked at me. You shot me for real. You know, and I said, you said you're gonna slap me for real. He looked at me like you shot me for real.
You play stupid games, you can get stupid prizes. You know, people don't realize that you go around picking on people and thinking you the bully, man. I never understood that, like
every time.
And then you get met with it. Now you like, oh man, I didn't know it's gonna be like. You can't determine that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Every time you gonna win the stupid prize.
I'm looking at him. You made me shoot you for real. So it ain't no you shot me for real. You come to me gangster. You scan me. I'm trying to let my pride let these dudes know if you disrespect me, I'm a drug dealer. And he said he gonna slap me and spit in my face. I did it because I felt like if I didn't do nothing, they gonna come try to rob me and take something because the street gonna say I'm weak. So that's the reason why.
That's what I wanted to talk about. Right? He said my ego was in the way, and I had to show the streets that I wasn't weak because they would have kept trying me and trying to rob me. Is that an epidemic in most communities? That kind of ego, like that kind of mindset that we have to change.
Not just
I got to do it because the streets people gonna perceive me as something. So like, I got to do it.
Some people let their ego drive them, and there's also people that let you know that hey, at the end of the day, the only thing you got in this world is your balls and your word and your manhood. You know what I'm saying? And some people
one thing he said though, he said I should have never went back.
He shouldn't have never went back, and that was part of being a man. You know what I'm saying? You know what?
Yeah.
I just catch them when there ain't a bunch of people around. You know what I'm saying? But it's but when people do that stuff in front of a lot of people, that questions the person's manhood, especially in jail when people do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
The thing that's crazy though, that I think people that if you could really slow down and think, is when you in court fighting for your freedom, those same people nowhere to be found.
Yeah, that's off top.
So why does their opinion matter? You know what I'm saying?
Because glory is the thing. Like, glory don't mean nothing by yourself. Glory comes from others. So you got to do all this stuff in front of others. So if you want glory, that's something a fool wants. Because
good point.
Glory don't put money in your pocket. Glory and education.
Right.
You want status with others. So you have to be out there with them. But the same people you seeking validation from
ain't gonna be nowhere.
The same people you have to shoot, have to run from, have to fight, or rob you. Them the same people you want the credit from.
Right.
Yeah, because like anybody can pull a gun and shoot somebody. But when you behind on fences, you know what I'm saying?
He talked about that too. I know we way into it now, but he talked. I'm just saying watching video, but he was talking about how when he went behind the jail, how he had to turn it on. He had to go to another level because he said in Texas, when you first hit the yard, they got this thing talking about they gonna test you or they gonna check you out. He said, well, you got to fight 5 people at one time, kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So put yourself in the environments. You put yourself in a little bit bad environment into the extremely bad environment.
Boy.
Then if you make the wrong choice, you would be in an even worse environment.
Wait.
It always gets worse.
Yeah. So let's get into the topics, man. We can just quick hit them. We don't really got to go crazy, but it's up to y'all. The first one is, how does a person work through finding their identity? 3 things to think about. Finding yourself without influence. What y'all think about that?
I don't know, cause you still gonna have to have some kind of influence.
But when you grow up in the inner
But
city, sometimes you don't have those adults around or positive influences around to, kind of guide you.
but you do have a lot of positive influence. It's just like when you find your identity, like say for instance, like if I want to be a great painter or artist, I'm gonna be close to somebody that's like, okay, they did it and they stopped, but I'm trying to go past them. Like,
Man, unfortunately, and probably John can attest to this, being in the gates, there were a lot of young brothers that didn't have positive people that could guide them. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it sucks. But I'm saying there were a few like they really didn't have it, man. You know what I'm saying? They would. I mean, it's nobody to tell you, nah, man, don't go rob or don't go do that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, don't go. It's just dudes left to their own imagination. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this in every area. I'm just saying I've seen it before. Like dudes that don't have their influence. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe the big brother got locked up too. That was probably the only one that he respected. You know what I'm saying? Or mom's always at work and she worked 2 jobs just to make ends meet. You know what I'm saying? And I know for me, right? When my dad died, I just didn't have the same. I had to learn through watching stuff. Like I say, mom used to record stuff for me when she showed me Scared Straight, not the old one, like in the '80s. That's all I need to see. You know what I'm saying? Being able to see things in real time, like that exposure to the streets, and not wanting to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Being down there with Greg and stuff, seeing these dudes, street dudes and stuff, and sometimes talking to them, they was like, "Man, you don't want this, man. You don't want to turn your head every corner. You can't be nowhere no more than 5 minutes because they trying to come get you. Them jack boys come because you don't go rims and they want it, and you got it, and they'll come take it from you."
But that's the thing. Not only are they being lured, they're fighting for their position. They fighting to be in the wrong position. That's what they want. That's the glory they want. That's the reason why that guy went out there he knew he shouldn't have went out there and he had to shoot somebody 6 times. He wanted to be there. That's the thing they want. So
how do you do the opposite of that?
Trying to get there.
Right. So how do you do the opposite of that? It's almost like overcoming the odds because you don't have all the resources available to you, but you still find a way to stay positive and get out.
How are you going to want the right thing? So how am I going to want to be influenced to do the hard work, to be smart, to have something, to work for something, to be smarter? That's a hard sell. No, nobody. Well, they want the results, but they don't want to do the work and the grind. And the easy way, and it's not really the easy way. Ain't even easy.
Yeah, right. Like it's hard trying to convince a person not to do wrong.
Yeah, we talked about that last podcast. When you feel like all your success come from wrong, you know what I'm saying?
Like
it's hard to convince otherwise.
Yeah, it's tough trying to convince a kid like, hey man, hey, you don't want to do this whole time. Like kids stomach hurting, like shoot, my mom at work, and it's just me and my brothers and sisters in this house, and we trying to scrape up some a little meal to feed us. But if I go out here and run these few little packs off, like man, I got $100 in my pocket. As a 6 or 7 year old, that is enticing to us.
Right.
And I'm speaking from experience. Like no, like when somebody give you $100, hey, young blood, I don't think you gotta do over there. But and then you have somebody else that's in the crew, like, man, why you got that young bull out there doing that? You know he don't know no better.
Or he get caught up in the bust in the
Yeah.
raid.
And they trying to tell
And
him,
the
you
dude
know,
who
they,
sent you over there on the crash out mission,
yeah,
nowhere to be found. You know.
and know you ain't gonna say nothing. And they be
Yep.
like, hey, you know they ain't gonna charge you as no adult when you under 16 or
The system
18.
ain't playing with you now.
Yeah, now they ain't gonna
ain't
play
playing
with you,
with
boy. You getting
Boy,
railroaded.
that's the Wild Wild West. It ain't the Wild Wild West no more. It's
Yeah,
over with now.
you getting
Yeah.
railroaded early, 12 years old.
So, how do you operate without praise to find your gifts? We talked about this earlier. To do, how do you operate without praise? Because sometimes some people find their gifts through sports, through the praise, and then you got those middle area kids, man. You know, once you graduate high school, you kind of on your own at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and how do you find? I know it took a while for me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It took some time. I had to go through some trial and error, you know what I'm saying, to figure it out. But because I didn't know I was in IT. I didn't know I was IT inclined like that till, you know, I had to dig around and find it, you know, go to some classes like, okay, this is what I'm naturally good at. Like, I was so natural at IT. I didn't even have to study. You know what I'm saying? Should I have studied? Yes. But I was so natural. It was so naturally came to me to figure it out. I didn't even have to study like that. You know, that's what I would tell somebody. Find something that with positive that you're naturally good at. You know what I'm saying?
And naturally means like it's effortless.
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah, your brain is just wired to it almost, you know what I'm saying?
Like
now you're gonna have some bumps and bruises, but you'll figure it out because that's what you wired to do. You know what I'm saying? Just like with this. Like I didn't start out with this. I had to kind of figure this stuff out along the way. You know what I'm saying? You know,
that's why I was gonna tell y'all the other day. I was like, man, I'm with Steph and Clay, and I feel like KD coming through here, man. I was like, man, they already got the experience. I was like, man, said, man, they so good at it, and you know, like I say, you finding a positive thing about it, like
yeah.
But I know, like on my page, like they love the ratchetness, and I was like, man, I got to figure out something better.
Why do you think people why do you think people are more attracted to the ratchetness than the positive?
Because people can relate. It's more relatable. Like,
but why are they more attracted to it? Just because you related to it, that don't mean you have to be attracted to it.
Yes, I mean that's the part of it. Like they just relate to it.
You want that validation. That's why. If you can figure out why people don't want to be validated by their peers or people below them even, you got the cure for cancer. Mental and mentality cancer. Because people want that.
They want it.
And even from little kids to adults, they want to be looked up to by their peers.
I say, man, that's why I always say, hey, man, at the end of the day, streets will never die because it's always going to be there. Like, that's why you see, like, people like Boosie come here like 30 sometimes in 1 year.
I told you he was going to come back. I told you once it all blow over, he was going to come back. Remember I told you that? I told you he was going to come back.
Yeah, but I think
he was like, he can't come back to the show. I'm telling
I didn't say he couldn't come back. I didn't say he couldn't come back.
Want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
I didn't say he couldn't come back. But I bet he made things right. I guarantee you that. He made things right.
All right, the last one. How can you find a positive identity without being involved in sports? What y'all think about that?
Sports is an option, and it should always be an option. You shouldn't be like sports is bad. If you're a kid and if that's your gift, don't feel bad about your gift. Feel good about that. Use sports as an option. Now, if sports is off the table for you, if you're missing a leg, you can't try and be disciplined and do sports. It's a lot of other things, but those are more common because we say in the project, it ain't a court that you can go practice your spelling words. It's a basketball court outside. Right. It ain't a lot of other options. You got your options doing music in the church, but any activity after school, church, extracurricular, they're going to be that. And you're going to have those. And one isn't better than the other, but it's a lot of things other than sports. But people are looking for their glory, and sports is a good way, the fastest way to get there. Being good at singing or playing the drums, people going to look for their praise. Not only kids, adults as well.
Yeah.
You know,
What you think, Bill?
Yeah. I agree 100%. Like, for those that, sports was always like, they always told you, like, sports and book smart and understanding this stuff. Like, you can't go nowhere in this world if you're not smart enough. You can go places, but if you don't know nothing about these books, you just a dumb person with money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people be, well, not people, but these kids be so good at stuff that the adults are not taking the time to really see what they really great at. And they do it so effortlessly. Oh Lord.
Mm-hmm.
They do it. Like these kids, well, now parents really exploiting these kids at like 3 or 4 years old.
You got the parents exploiting themselves. You know how many and because on Facebook now they pay for stuff like advertisements now. Like you get stuff in your timeline, you're not even looking for it. But you know how many women just exploiting themselves, just doing crazy stuff. Like, they may not even be like not totally naked, but they have something to get you to click. Like it just, you look up the real, try to ride by, and they got their whole chest, and they just keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's what's crazy.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But finding your identity, like it really, you have to pay attention to it early.
Yes,
and then once they get a little older, like they might stray away from it. But it's up to you as an adult. Be like, hey, you really great at this stuff. Like,
yeah.
Like with my child, excuse me. Like with my child, she's good at doing hair, but she's even more greater doing rap, like, cause it's so easy. Not saying that I was like, well, baby, it's a lot more to it than just rapping. Cause you gotta copyright your stuff, you gotta, put all this stuff, but
produce all that.
Produce and find right producer and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But and her brother's like the total opposite. Like he's the artist. He's one of like, okay, but y'all put it together, y'all might make something. But yeah, sports is always like it's a smooth little stepping stone. If you can, if I can use sports to go to college, why not?
Right. I guess what I'm saying is every kid is not athletically inclined, right?
Yeah.
Like how many dudes we know that we went to school with, even myself, you're tall, but that don't mean you like basketball. You love basketball like that. And I'm saying there are other options out there to find your identity in. Like whether it's now stuff's available now than it was then, like media.
It was there. We just in a small market.
Yeah, I know it was there, but I'm saying like it's even there now because I didn't do it. Like I wish I would have had the sense to be like, you know what? Like I told y'all, I should have been doing media. I should have been doing this. We probably, if I'd have had some sense back then, like recording those moments.
We worked. That's why I always.
We didn't have phones with cameras in them when we was in high. They didn't come out to what? When did we get the Sony phone, Jay? Like 2001, 2002?
Well, real close. This is like after high school, and it was a little camera. We couldn't upload the videos on certain. It wouldn't go from your phone to your computer. It was
big. You know what I'm saying?
And I was the bad kid in school, but I was still smart. Like in our class, in our certain computer class, we was on the black market.
For sure.
But what about when you're not at school, when you graduate high school,
that's what I'm
you don't have the funds to have a computer at home, though?
Man, And that's what I'm saying. Like, but you were so intact with the black market, like you was gonna find a way. You were gonna find a way.
Because
But it's
I
just
mean, there are a lot of people that I'm pretty sure around the world, but when you get out of high school, some people kind of go in that dark space because they really didn't have an identity. You know what I'm saying? And they trying to find it, and it kind of get tough for them. You know what I'm saying? I even went there a little bit myself. Because you want to go to school, but you can't afford it, or you think you can because you don't understand the channels of how to do it. And there's a lot of things you want to do, but you don't know what the first step is. You know what I'm saying?
like if you really would focus on the mic, being the height that you are, you would have found a way.
I agree. I agree.
Man, you would have found a way.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree. I think the thing is I wasn't patient enough. Another thing is I didn't want to play center, but I wasn't good enough to play nothing else. Probably
You was ahead of your time. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine, and that's totally fine. I get it. I'm just being honest. That's where I was at. That's what my mind was. Like I didn't want to play center. I didn't. And then in their perspective, I wasn't that good either. Anyway, too. I get it. And I should have put more time in outside of just doing it at school. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's 100%. Because my mom actually tried to put me on. She knew a dude from Sweet Home. His name Run. He had won. They won a 3-on-3 tournament one time when it was downtown. They won it. He had trained this dude named Zach E. Boyd. Man, shout out to Zach E. Man, he's going to come by too. Point guard. But she tried to get me to go there because I think he was in the East End. But I didn't want to go for whatever reason. Probably just didn't want to do it. Like say, I think when my dad died, I just wasn't into sports like that. It kind of turned me off.
Sports and
because he was a big sports dude. My dad was a big sports dude too.
And stuff, and then we gotta stop being ruled by emotions because a lot of people are in the NBA or NFL now that don't like basketball like that, don't like football like that, and our emotions tell us what we should do. I just didn't feel like it.
I agree, but like I say, when the person who's really into sports that probably will push you, leaves, he's not alive anymore. I don't know. For me, like I say, to me, it's more logical. Like if I don't have that kind, because my mom had to work. You know what I'm saying? My mom was like, she ain't got time for all that. Like when just keeping it real, she just don't got time for all that. You know what I'm saying? So. And it was an easy choice. I'm like, I'm finna help my mom. You know what I'm saying? Easy. I'm finna help my mom.
Oh, for sure, yeah. You know, I could have got mentally more in tune with football because I was very fast. I had size and speed, you know, but I just didn't understand the game, and I just didn't.
And I think too, what you about to say? The coach don't keep it real with you. Be like, okay, you're not probably where you need to be, but if you do these things or if you really work on this, then they don't really have those talks with you. You see what I'm saying? When you're not, on the top of their list, you just there to fill the roster. You know what I'm saying? You deal with that part of the game too. You know what I'm saying? You're not the coach's pick, I guess, right? You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's why, like I really do push this, especially with my son.
Yeah.
About the education stuff.
100%.
I wasn't nowhere near dummy. I was just too hood to even get out my own way. Really hood.
Yeah, you was disciplined in the hood, but not disciplined in the classroom. Like if you would have pointed it to the classroom, you probably been a totally different person.
But if you really look at it, like when I looked at it, I was like, man, we really didn't learn nothing from like 7th grade to like 12th.
But when you think about learning, though, is it on the teacher or is it on the person in the classroom?
I mean, it depends on
who has more about. Like when I look at me, I'm saying I had to be accountable for myself. When I say I didn't learn that much from McClellan, is it on me or is it on the teacher?
When I say really didn't learn much, I'm speaking like from a person that really had to learn. This is like this little stuff. I was like, man, I'm not learning nothing. That's why I'll be acting up in class. I already done my work. I'm just not learning nothing.
But you know what I didn't learn doing it? I'm saying from my experience. You know what I didn't learn acting up? I didn't learn how to be still and be disciplined, even when it's not convenient for me. That's what I didn't learn. That's the number one thing. Sometimes, like as a young man, you don't really because that's when you think about taking these standardized tests and stuff like that, you got to sit in this room for 2 hours and you got to be almost laser like focused to take this standardized test for 2 hours. And if you don't want to do that, you just be in there, man. Just be looking up at the ceiling, like, man, I don't feel like I don't want to be in here.
Because you feel like that's important, and like you said, being too emotion centered. I don't feel like playing basketball, so you don't put forth the effort because you don't feel like it, and it's a feeling.
Yeah.
And you do that with you sitting there.
And that's why I said, is it more on the individual to learn? Is it more accountability on the individual to learn? If you know you're not learning, do you have to check yourself? Like, what am I doing?
No, I mean, it like you can say like, hey man, but if you tell the person you ain't learning, they be like, you know what? You need to get out, sit in the hallway because you disrupting everybody else that's trying to learn.
Are they being for real, or are they you think are they being disingenuous?
Did they take accountability? Be like, you know what? Since you know everything, Mr. Smarty Pants, we're gonna put you in a different class with a higher learning standard. Like that's why I always tell people like, oh man, I really didn't learn nothing after 7th grade because
how much onus do you take for that? I'm just saying, I'm asking that. Like, if you give a percent, like, how much onus do you take and how much onus do you give to the teacher?
If I'm telling you I'm not learning nothing, I'm like, I already know this stuff. If I'm telling you, I'm like, I already know this stuff. Nobody was listening. I was like, well, okay. Well, I'm gonna be what I was supposed to be, Mr. Funny Man. I'm gonna be Mr. Funny Man.
All right, next topic. How do you get the victory over internal battles not said out loud? I think a lot of young men deal with this internal battles.
Explain.
Yeah,
I know for me.
If I had to answer this question,
internal battle for me, right? Not having the father figure. Not having that father figure guidance in those important years from like 17 to like probably about 25, like trying to understand life without that male presence, like your own DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Internal for me, I'm saying for me, that was an internal battle I had to figure out. Understanding about basketball, like making that decision to stop playing basketball, that was an internal battle because people were saying you should keep playing, but it's like, man, I'm not getting in the game. What's the point? You know what I'm saying? I'm not I did the manager thing 10th grade. I don't want to do that again. I'd rather just go to work, you know what I'm saying, to help my mom make money. But that was an internal battle, you know what I'm saying? And then when you graduate high school, man, even though I was working, I was pretty stable as far as going to work and stuff like that. You can get so caught up in life. You had that internal battle, like what is the next thing I'm supposed to be doing? And then you be ignoring stuff like, you go to school, I don't want to do that. You can do this, I don't want to do that. You can go do a trade, I don't want to do that. Then you start saying, what's the next thing? It's like you just ignore it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The internal battle. You start having them internal battles, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with women. Why am I dealing with different women? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't I stop? You know what I'm saying? You gotta ask yourself these kind of questions, but you don't do that while you're in the midst of it, or you hope nothing crazy happened. Thank God nothing crazy happened. I never got my tire slashed, the windows busted out, or the thin line between love and hate. You know what I'm saying? Where the woman, was it Brandy? You know how she framed them, tried to frame them and stuff like that. You it's a lot of internal battles, man. Like when you don't grow up in a 2-parent home, there are things that you just don't get as far as dealing with women. You don't see sometimes what a healthy relationship looks like.
Mm-hmm.
What a healthy family looks like. What does a healthy family look like? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When half of half of your family be incarcerated, other half doing whatever they doing, and you only with your mom and grandma and your auntie. You know what I'm saying? But what a man at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the internal battle you deal with. Because you're like, I'm trying to figure out what I need to do, but I don't have the examples. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like my internal battles, it had nothing to do with none of that stuff.
I mean,
Like,
it's a
bro,
lot internal battles that dudes deal with. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm with you.
yeah,
I'm just giving you general stuff.
yeah. I know what you're saying.
Go ahead.
Like for real though, like and it goes back to that old saying, like the internal battle that I had was I was grown before I was of age, and then once I got of age, like they was like, no, you can't do that, you can't say this. But I'm like, I've been doing everything a grown person was doing, except, well, I can't say what, but like I was having to watch your brothers and sisters, having to watch your cousins. As you can see, like people getting locked up for that now.
Yeah, and it's internal battle too, right? Like, dealing with family members that's full of crap. You know what I'm saying? They want you to watch their cousin, not because they got to go to work, because they finna go.
They don't want to kick it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Kick it.
That's
Like,
right. You know, but I'm saying that's sometimes that causes internal battle. It's like, and then you feel like you can't say no because they put you in a situation where you can't say no. You know what I'm saying? Because you're that young and you can't say no. I'm not watching your kids for you to go hang out. You can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Because of the respect factor.
I'm getting paid.
But
Like,
I'm still saying. But I'm saying
it's
see what
wrong.
I'm saying?
It's wrong. But I'm just saying. But
Yeah.
like, and then like that's why I always say, like, when you have those responsibilities so early, and then once you get like 14, 15, and like dude said, man, you finding yourself, okay, I'm not about to keep babysitting these kids. I'm not.
Yeah, for sure.
Now you're the problem child.
Right, exactly. That's another internal battle. When you tell your family no, you're not doing something, now they don't like you.
Yeah, you the
Right?
problem child. Why you got a smart
Yeah,
mouth?
exactly.
But y'all taught me all this stuff real early. It's like real early.
When you're trying your best to do the right things and like say you deal with family or people like that don't like you, it's the craziest thing, man. That do cause internal battle. People don't even realize that. Like you really, because you don't do things like everybody else do. Like the common or the group, you're not part of the group think kind of deal. You don't do what everybody else do. And then people don't like you, but you're not doing nothing wrong, but you're not doing what everybody else doing. You know what I'm saying? You're almost like a misfit. That's an internal battle you deal with. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else working at the factory, and then you go to school. You like say your grandpa go to school to be a politician.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, why you want to go be a politician for? Cause he's trying to do something better.
Trying to do something better with his
But
life.
there's internal battle. You got the perception is like they think you're a sellout or something. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not doing what everybody else doing. You know what I'm saying?
And
that's the internal battle dudes deal with.
Yeah, and that's where me and my dad bumped heads. Said, but that was still my best friend at the end of the day.
For sure.
But like that's where we bumped heads. And I'm like, everything that you trying to teach me, I'm like, Pops, I already know this shit. Same thing with my mom's. Like everything you trying to teach me, I already know. I'm trying to get to a higher level of this understanding of how this stuff really works. Because y'all not teaching me nothing. Like, because I already learned all the bad stuff, but I'm trying to do this good stuff. I'm already reading at a high level in gifted and talented classes, AP, and then y'all want me to just focus on sports? Like, no, I don't want to do that. It's cool. I know I'm good at it, but I want the other part of this stuff. Afterwards, you know what I'm saying? I want to learn that before I even turn 16, 17. I want to learn this part of it.
You know was I think for me, the internal battle, it kind of messed me up. Is when you start getting in the corporate world and you start really like doing stuff, and you see people that's successful, and it's like I don't know if it's true. I'm just saying it seems like everything that you was taught in the trenches or it's the total opposite of success. It's totally different. You know what I'm saying?
Erase it. Like,
they roguish. Everything that you taught not to do, they actually are. Like being super, confident, You know what I'm saying? Being able to come in the room and take over the room. Like, y'all not finna get over on me. Y'all must be crazy.
That's your
But
problem.
it seemed like, you know, sometimes they didn't turn about it. Shit, like you're taught to be respectful, you're taught to do these things, which is nothing wrong with that, but you're not taught know when to turn it on and turn it off. You know what I'm saying? And then seeing, even I'm talking about people our color that's successful, you see that other side, like that behind the scenes that's not it's like
you be
man, I
wanting to
was
say
taught not
something
to
so
do that.
bad.
Like I was taught not to do that. I didn't know you could do that. If I'd known that, I would have, you know what I'm saying?
And I know me, I be wanting to say something so bad.
Yeah.
And then, but I was taught to speak in parables. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. Same here. Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a catch-22 to it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might not understand what I'm saying right now, but by 6-7 months later, you're gonna be like, yeah, that's what I was talking about.
It's just like when most women don't realize, like when dudes, you know, you trying to move up in this corporate world, man. A lot of men that have those internal battles because you dealing with so much against you, man. You're like, you really going against the odds, you know.
Really?
Literally going against the odds. And you gotta have a strong mindset in order to do that, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, you gotta have the Bible verse. No weapon formed against me shall prosper.
And I stand that's my favorite thing.
I
And
don't
even
care
if
about
it's
the race. I don't care about the stereotyping. It's
Right.
not gonna work with me. I'm gonna bust all through that. You know what I'm saying?
and even when it's formed, and
Yeah.
even when it's formed,
Right.
it's still there's gonna be the same weapon you fall on. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
And guess what? When you bust through the form, it may still hurt, but you still gotta bust through it. You know what
I'm talking about for them. Yeah,
Yeah.
you inform it.
No,
It's
it
gonna
might
hurt
hurt
for
you too.
them.
Sometimes it can hurt you a little bit too. You may feel. I'm not saying it's gonna
I'm
hurt you
good.
like you're
I'm
gonna feel it.
good.
You're gonna feel it. To bust through a wall, you're gonna feel something.
No, I'm good on that weapon formed against me.
What's that?
When a weapon is formed against me and they say it ain't gonna prosper, that person's gonna fall on their head.
Oh, 100%.
Not me.
But some things you got to go through in order to get to the finish line, though. You got to go through it. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of how it go in life.
I'm gonna walk around it.
You can, but sometimes you got to go through it, though. And some, not all, but I'm saying there's sometimes where you got to go through it.
Yeah, that's
man,
it's
you
double
know what I'm
entendre.
saying?
You know what I'm saying? Double
That's
entendre.
when you turn to Luke Cage. That's when you turn to Luke Cage and you just go through it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, we ain't gonna hold you too long, man. That's what we want to talk about today, man. You know, trying to find your identity growing up, because sometimes, like I say, in sports, you know, you get good at sports, you find out, hey, I could be a linebacker, and I could be a DN, I could be a running back, I could be a quarterback. But what about the kids that graduate high school? Do they know they could be a doctor? They could be a lawyer. They can work in IT. You know, they could be a general manager of a franchise, you know, franchise owner. You know what I'm saying? Real estate, you know, owner, stuff like that. Do they know these things? You know what I'm saying?
And I say my favorite person I ain't seen in a while. But that boy Solomon Graves is prime example. Like, you can make it up out that hood and be wherever you want to be in
How do you
life.
think he made it? How do you think he not got caught up in the hood stuff, though? What do you think?
Because he didn't have to go out there. He didn't have to be around it. Like, his mama is like prime example. Like, she probably like from overseas type stuff. Like, focus on that kid. And that's
I
what
know
I'm
Kim
saying.
talked
Like,
about that a little bit too. Kim said his parents like, no, you ain't going.
Yeah.
And Kim grew up in the bricks. You know
Yeah. That's
the
that.
bricks.
That you know what I'm saying? Like, and there's so many success stories that people that come from the hood, they might not deal with social media, because I understand it.
I get it, yeah.
I really do understand. I'm trying to work my way.
We working on it.
I'm trying to work my way into getting on camera like that, but
yeah, man.
Caught in my own way.
All right, y'all. We better get ready to sign out this thing, man. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think. Keep watching. I got way more clips I got to post, man. Shout out to all the people who came out, talked with us on sports and stuff, man.
Yeah, and my bad.
No,
might be doing a giveaway, man. Y'all send at least 5 people to subscribe to the page, man.
Yeah, man, go subscribe, man. Next one we do, man, we got to show you the different channels, man. We're gonna have to share the screen, show you the different channels to go. Yeah, man. But guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And we will catch you on the next thinking game.
Yes, sir.
That boy is good. Good and terrible.